Hello! I have a special video for you. I know a lot of you have been wanting me to do more makeup tutorials and sort of get ready with me, so today's the day. I have, I think 3, maybe 4 looks with you, including this one, using the Glamlite Michaela Part 2 palette. This would be a great sort of St. Patrick's Day type look. And also, I am in a love affair with Glamlite right now. It's an indie brand that's accessible, it's affordable, and the quality is insane. So I did a complete get ready with me and tutorial on this look, and then you have some additional looks as well. This is the Michaela Part 2 packaging. I do swatches and everything, but you can kind of see what it looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous. I got this look from it. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so we are going to use this Glamlite palette, Michaela Part 2, and I really love Glamlite. I'm having an affair with Glamlite right now, and you're going to see multiple looks. I really want to do the last look that I filmed. I want to do that again, but we're not going to. So what I want to do in the beginning part here is just show you all of the colors, and then do some swatches. And so what I really like is that the first row are the shimmers and then the last row is the mattes. So let's do the shimmers first. This is the Aspire. Okay. This one is Blossom. These are so soft and buttery. Then we have January 23rd. Then we have Teddy, which I'm actually going to put right here. Okay. And then the last one is one of my favorite ones, and it is a duochrome, that sort of red-brown duochrome. And that's what I used on my look in one of these tutorials. So that's what we're dealing with. Look at that. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. And then we have the mattes. So soft. Some of these, you know, are going to take some building up, but that's fine. This one is very dark. It's actually more of like a eggplant as opposed to anything else. I've used all these colors, except I haven't used this Workaholic shade, and I haven't used a January 23rd too much. So I'm thinking of maybe doing something with this, and this, and maybe brown on the lower. So let's go ahead and see what that ends up looking like. Okay, so I put on Noriko's Jaden. I have her in the color Mulberry Brown, and I'm going to be reviewing her next, so I wanted to make sure that the makeup is right. That's one thing to consider, like when you're doing your makeup, that if you are wearing wigs and you're sort of changing the color, you know, to make sure that they sort of don't clash. So I'm using my little clips here to hold the hair back. I am going to use my Maybelline Fit Me powder in 05. I use it so much, it's so dirty. And I'm going to put that underneath my eyes to catch out fallout, because these shadows, they're pressed pigments, but they're darker shadows, and since I already did my face, I do not want any fallout. Alright, so I'm going to do that. A lot of times with these, going darker to lighter is the best because you're going to stamp on the color. So I'm going to go with Workaholic, and that's the one I'm going to start with. And I'm going to use this brush here, and I am going to stamp on Workaholic. Let me get this mirror. This was a gift from one of my customers, one of my doll babies, so that's exciting, and I'm going to use it, and it's so perfect because it's small, but it gets just my eyes, and then it doesn't like hinder the shot, so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I'm going to go in and lean my head back and just sort of press this on the crease just like this. And I'm going to blend it out, so I just want to tap it on here, and I'll worry about blending when I'm done. There we go. We want to create a shape. So I'm going to go in with this sort of flat, fluffy brush, and I'm going to just diffuse the outside edges. And I don't go like outside of the eye. I'm really just moving it around right in the area where it already is, just to diffuse the edges and just make sure that I don't deposit too much color outside of this specific area. But I definitely don't want a super harsh edge, even though I want it to be pigmented. Once I get sort of a blended out edge, we're going to go back in and build up where I would like to build up. Do you see how I've spread it out and diffused it so that it actually looks like I used a very dark and a very light color when I really didn't? So this just takes a little bit of time, but these shadows are so gorgeous and they diffuse out nicely. So that diffused super nicely, and I didn't really think that it took too much work. The key is that you're going to, when you press it on, to keep it in a very concentrated area so that you have an ability to work out. So I do want to deepen that part, so I'm just going to take a little bit more of that dark green shade and just stamp it specifically where I want it to be. Okay, looking good, we're looking green, we're looking green, green, green. All right, so I have found that the Glamlite shimmers do better with the finger. So luckily I do not have nails on today. So I'm gonna go in with this January 23rd and I'm gonna do that all over the lid. I am going to bring it into the matted part just ever so slightly, and I'm going to tap the edges just to diffuse those edges. I like to put a very light color on my inner corner. I'm very prone to dark circles just genetically, so I want to wear this dark color but also have a lightness on the inner corner, so I don't want to push it too far in. But I do want it to sort of come up and over the crease, so you'll be able to see the shimmer when my eye is straight on, because I do have hooded eyes, but not so far up so that it diffuses. So I'm just doing a light tap. And laying your eye out like this, if you have hooded eyes, does help a lot with that. So now you can see a little bit of the shimmer when I'm looking straight and then looking down. And it also helps to have it go above that crease line It helps for me in how it looks. That's just my preference. Then if you have hooded eyes and this part of your eye touches a little bit above, you already sort of have sparkle there so that it looks intentional as opposed to transfer. So I'm going to take the blending brush that I had earlier and just round out the inner edges and the look to sort of finish that part off. Okay, so on the very inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and use this Blossom color right here, and I'm going to use the other side. I had this double-ended brush, and like there's a smaller side to it, so I'm going to use a smaller side, and I'm not going to wet it. I'm going to use it dry at first to place it in the corner, and I'm going to then wipe this powder away so that I can bring it down and around. Ooh, I like to set shadows down dry first and then wet so that it doesn't clump too much. So let's go ahead and wipe this excess powder away. And I like to do it like this instead of a rubbing in case there is a fallout. And I slightly rotate the brush when I do that. All right, so I'm going to bring that shimmer onto the lower lash. And I'm going to use this pointed brush. I was going to use the brown on the bottom, but I think I'm actually going to use this light shade called Soft Center. We're just going to go real green. So I did stamp that lighter color just around the outer edge just to bring that shape together. I'm going to go ahead and use this MAC Fixed Plus. This is the coconut version, but I'm going to wet my brush with it with that green, and I'm just going to intensify this inner corner. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that, baby. Woo, 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 woo. Just wetting that a little bit has taken it to the next level. Do you see the difference? Okay, and then I'm going to finish it with this ColourPop liquid liner in the numero uno. It was like a release that was part of a collection, but it's still just the same black BFF liner. I am going to use some false lashes, but I'm actually going to use a little mascara. I haven't used mascara in like literal years, but I do want to try to use a little bit to coat my lashes and then add falsies. I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. If you know, you know. I'm just going to give the ever so smallest coat. I don't have a lot of natural lashes in general, so this is more to just make sure that the lash line is really black. All right, I'm going to let these dry, and then I'm going to put my false lashes over them, and then I'll come back with my final look. All right, this is the final look. I topped it off with Juvia's Place's their Comfort Matte lipsticks, which I love. This one is in the shade Libra. So this is the final look. I absolutely love it. I'm going to be filming a couple reviews and doing some photos for the website, and I think this is a gorgeous eye look. And as you can see, it really wasn't terribly complicated. It's just a little bit of time and, you know, paying attention to what you are doing. Slow and steady wins the race. So I love this look. It is kind of like a St. Patrick's Day type look, and with this mulberry brown on Jaden, it's perfect. So I hope you liked this video, and I hope you liked all the tutorials using the Michaela Part 2. Really appreciate you being here. And if you like this type of content, please let me know and I'll do it more often. And I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!